Let me agree with Mr. Frank in terms of the observations made by Professor Hayek. But when we look at this situation, I think what Hayek would also argue is that government intervention into regulation in order to achieve certain political ends could also create a problem. And I think the problem that exists here is that we have sort of a bifurcated regulatory structure. At least in the opinion of many of us, what we've done with the CFPB is to dilute the power of the safety and soundness regulators in this situation. And the concern we have is that it might morph into the type of situation we had with the bifurcated regulation when we had HUD on one side and OFEO on the other, and the regulators wanted more power at that point in order to, they wanted it by statute so that they could better regulate safety and soundness. HUD, on the other hand, weighed in, and so we ended up with the situation of the over-leverage that existed with the GSEs, of the zero down payment loans and so forth. And unless this power rests not with the products regulator, but with the prudential safety and soundness regulator, it is much more likely that politics, government intervention will come into play, and who knows, I mean, we could end up with the argument for the political allocation of credit. We could end up with the same kinds of assertions that were made over at HUD for zero down payment loans or for 100-to-1 leverage with the GSEs. Why? Because we were going to put everybody in a home, and that was going to be everybody's right, whether they could afford to pay for it or not. So what we're actually talking about is trying to get some balance back in this so that the prudential regulator can step in and prevent the type of thing that all of us saw happen before.